In what has ended up being one of the most disappointing seasons in recent memory for the Toronto Blue Jays, pitcher Kevin Gausman has come out and revealed the truth behind the Toronto Blue Jays season. He called out the front office and he discussed his future with the Toronto Blue Jays. So to break that down and discuss what it means going forward as the Jays are about to enter one of their most important off seasons in franchise history. So to break all that down in this episode. But before we get into it, quick reminder to hit the subscribe button. If you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, it means the world to myself and Peter if you could hit that button. We're approaching 14,000 subscribers. This is the place to be for daily Jays content, and there's going to be a lot to cover this off season, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. But we have a lot to go over today. The Jays are entering their final couple of games of play for the regular season, and it has been an absolute disaster class of a season. And obviously, there's been some positives to take away. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., some of the rookies they got, some of the prospects they got, and obviously Spencer Horwitz and things like that. But for a lot of the veteran guys, now whether that's Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett, even guys that are not really veterans, but they aren't super new to the MLB anymore, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bichette, they've been in the league for a few years now. It has been, quite frankly, disappointing. When Kevin Gausman specifically signed that contract, that 4-year contract with the Toronto Blue Jays, he wanted to win a World Series. He wanted to be with the Blue Jays, and he wanted to win games, and they have yet to win a playoff game since he has joined the team. And he had a recent interview, and he spilled a lot of interesting details, and quite frankly, he's right in a lot of what he said. So let's just dive right into it right now. So in a recent interview, Kevin Gausman stated that he wants the Blue Jays to sign some veterans this offseason that will serve as clubhouse leaders. Here are 7 of them that will fit that bill perfectly. And we're not going to be going over the targets today. We're going to be focusing more on the actual quotes and what he said. We can see here from the headline, he wants, and we'll discuss the exact quotes and discuss what it means, but he basically said that he wants the Blue Jays to sign some veterans. They need to go for it, and they need to sign guys, not just veterans, because they signed veterans last offseason like Justin Turner, like Kevin Kiermaier, like IKF. They need to sign guys that are going to help the offense, going to help, in turn, the pitching staff win ball games, and just make the team better. It is no secret what this team needs to win. They need better offense. They need at least 2 supremely good, or supreme bats in the MLB. You need 2 power hitters. 2 supreme power hitters. So you need that. You need better bullpen, and you probably need another starting pitcher. Now, Bowden Francis maybe could slide into that spot. So the starting pitching staff, I think, can be okay. But bullpen needs to be addressed, whether that's in the form of a trader signing. And the hitting. The offense is atrocious. It needs to get better. And Kevin Gausman basically came out and said, hey, I'm sick of the talk. And they asked, what are we going to do now? As Kevin Gausman is not getting any younger. He's in his 30s. And he said, I'm sick of the talent talk. Gausman said in an interview with the Toronto Sun, we're so talented, this and that. We've got to start winning games. We've got to figure it out. We've got to do it quickly. I'm only getting older, and Chris Bassett is only getting older. If we want it to happen with this group, so if we want it to happen with this group, it has to happen soon. So what are we going to do? And again, this has been the year where Toronto Blue Jays players, specifically the pitching staff, between Bassett and now Kevin Gausman, have really come out and revealed, like, they're speaking the truth. They're speaking exactly how they feel. The pitching staff is not getting any younger. I mean, the core right now is José Berríos, Kevin Gausman, and Chris Bassett. Now, core meaning the 3 best the pitchers on the team. You obviously have José Berríos, and you have some of the younger guys as well. Bowden Francis and Yariel Rodriguez can be thrown into that mix there as well. He's not super young either, but he's just entering now the 2nd year of his contract next season. And of course, you have guys like Alek Manoah, Ricky Tiedemann, Jake Bloss that are going to factor in. But when it comes to proven starters in this league, you only have Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett, José Berríos, really, as guys who have been around for a while and are going to be consistently giving you solid innings. Chris obviously has a 4 ERA this year, Bassett a 3.64, I believe, and José Berríos a middling 3s as well, who's been a very, very good starter. Now, he can be the frontline starter on a winning team. I believe that. He can probably be the frontline starter on a World Series team if all the other things work well. But they're not getting any younger, and especially for Kevin Gausman and Chris Bassett, as they enter the final years of their contract, they need to start winning games. And being sick of the talent talk, I'm happy he said this. Now, he's calling out the front office to a degree, not with this quote, but as we go in, you'll see it. It's not a direct shot at the front office. It's saying, hey, calling them out, saying, we need more talent. We need to win games now. If we don't win games now, not only are the pitching staff not getting any younger, front office, Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro, their jobs are going to start to become on the line. And you can see this here. Basically, before he signed with the Jays, Gausman was meticulous in the research leading to his decision to go long-term. Big cash with a team he believes was on the cusp of sustained greatness. So now what? Like many of those who follow the team, Gausman will wait to see what general manager Ross Atkins and his baseball operations can do in the critical offseason. Time will tell. Obviously, we'll see what the front office does. Listen, we need some veteran players. No doubt about that. And that is a direct, not a shot at the front office, but it's a call out saying, hey, get us veteran players. And I don't think he means veterans like Justin Turner or Kevin Kiermaier who are on the last final years of their career. I think he means veteran guys who you know what you're going to get out of. They have not been, the Blue Jays haven't really swung for the upside play in any of their free agency signings, especially last year. They signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Kevin Kiermaier, Justin Turner. None of those guys had super high upside. They're all Justin Turner and Kevin Kiermaier are older players. You knew Kevin Kiermaier's ceiling was what he did the year previous with the Toronto Blue Jays in 2023, which is a middling 700 OPS, great elite defense. Justin Turner, he obviously had a very good year, but you knew a downswing was coming. You need a guy like a Pete Alonso, like a Teoscar Hernandez, still veterans, still guys who've been around a while, but guys that are going to give you elite hitting and somebody you know is going to hit well. You know these guys are going to hit well. Whether you go for Pete Alonso, whether you go for Teoscar Hernandez, whether you swing for the fences and go for guys like Juan Soto, which is a bit more unlikely, but it's still up there. You need guys who are going to give you sustainable play, consistent play. We can't have these ups and downs, or we can't have guys whose ceiling is a 750 OPS, and then if he has even a remote hint of a down year, he's going to be in the 600 OPS. You cannot have that. It's fine if you have a guy like Dalton Varsho hitting in the 7, 8, or 9 hole. He's going to be a guy who hits league average, 700 OPS with some of the best, if not the best defense in baseball. If he is your 7, 8, or 9 hitter, you're perfectly fine. That is a good team. When you have Dalton Varsho in your 2 hole or your 4 hole, you're at the point where you need to add more talent. It is simple as that. You need to add a guy like Teoscar Hernandez. You need to add a guy like Pete Alonso, somebody who brings elite power, who can actually be a force in the lineup to protect Vladimir Guerrero Jr., to protect Bo Bichette. George Springer's not getting any younger. There's a world where he doesn't lead off. Springer should be hitting maybe 6 or 7 now in the lineup. Get a new leadoff hitter. We've seen Jonathan Clase. He could maybe even factor into play next year because of his elite speed. And if he could be a 770 OPS guy at the leadoff spot, that's pretty good with the elite 70 grade speed he has. So there's so much the Jays need to do, and it's going to be such an active offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays. And you can see here, he also went on to say, you could see that when we had since traded Justin Turner here, his level of presence he brings, those guys have been doing it for a long time for a reason, so bring them in. He's talking about Justin Turner. Credit to players like Gausman and Bass for being transparent. We banked on a lot of guys having bounce back years, and that just didn't happen. We got bit by the injury bug. A lot. Obviously, the Blue Jays trade deadline has just kind of depleted us. We lost 8 guys, 9 guys, completely different personnel than what we started the season with. So that comes with a new kind of culture and standards setting the stone. So obviously, we know they were bit by the injury bug a lot, specifically the bullpen. The bullpen, I don't blame Ross Atkins for. I blame Ross Atkins for signing IKF. IKF was a good signing. Kevin Kiermaier, when you have Dalton Varsho in center field. But even the signing of IKF, it turned out to be a phenomenal signing because they ended up getting a very high-level prospect now in Charles McAdoo. The thing is, the Kevin Kiermaier signing at the time, we said it didn't make sense. It still didn't make sense. You cannot be signing guys in the middle of your prime window for this team to win a World Series, in theory. You cannot be signing guys that have a super low ceiling. You got to go for it. Spend big. They obviously swung big on Shohei Ohtani. It didn't work out. He went on to say that it was definitely started in the winter, talking about his injury, about a month before it went into spring training. You want to keep your progression going. You don't want to shut down because then you have to start back up. It was really that last month when the intensity started getting a little bit higher. And in retrospect, he acknowledges that he should have given himself extra time in the spring, but the competitor in him could read and handicap the Jays' somewhat dire pitching depth, as well as anyone, and his instinct was to push and persevere as a contributor to be a contributor. Basically, he's talking about his injury and how he should have took a step back. Instead, he rushed it, started off bad. And then once Kevin Gausman got healthy, he was the Kevin Gausman of old. And as the season now comes to a staggering end, the Jays have a lot of work to do, and it's good to see the players, call out the front office. They need to make changes. They need to make a ton of changes. If they go out and they get Teoscar Hernandez and they get another good couple bullpen arms, that's not enough. You need to get Teoscar Hernandez plus. So it's going to be a roller coaster of a off season, and we're going to have you covered all the way forward. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. But most importantly, let me know in the comment section down below what moves do you want to see them make, and what are your thoughts on Kevin Gausman's comments.